Okay, aloha everyone. We are live. And this is episode 6 of season 18. I know, 18 seasons. Who knew, right? And just honored to keep doing this. Today, we're going to be talking about morning fuel. I know, sounds interesting. And a healthcare app that really makes sense. I'm super excited for my guest today. Aloha. I'm your host, Savy, and I'm the founder of Give Me a Break. We're an all volunteer nonprofit organization that's caring for caregivers just like you. And we're still, a lot of us we volunteer to do this, but we're also still caring. We're still caregiving even as we speak and as we volunteer. So don't ever think that you're going to limit yourself to what you can and can't do. And pay attention to some of our tips and tricks because it might give you more free time than you realize you had. So we're here to bring back the joy of caregiving. And of course, that's one way. Each week, we want to help caregivers to survive. Yes, I said survive. Because did you know, and if you don't know when you're watching this show, then you're not paying attention, that 40% of caregivers in the United States will pass before the ones they are caring for. Yeah, they're not going to make it. So, just the other week, a couple of weeks ago, I did the math, right, just for here in Hawaii, and figured out that here in Hawaii, with all the stats, about 1 in 10 caregivers will not survive. Yeah, take a moment to breathe. I'm not happy about that. We've lost 2 already this year, just in our volunteer community. And that is staggering. So let's take a moment. I want you to just take a moment right now. And I want you to think of 10 people you know. Just think of 10 people you know. Okay, I'm going to do it too. Okay, I got 5 right there. And then 2. Oh, yeah, there's the other 2. Okay, so I just thought of 10 people, and I want you to think of 10 people you know, all right, that are caregiving. One of them is not going to be around. One of them is not going to survive this journey. And one of them will leave their person that they're caring for behind. And hopefully there's someone to care for them. And that's going to happen unless we do something to support them. So let's change those survival odds. Let's make them visible. We're here to support and to see caregivers, and we need your donations to keep going. That's what we do, right? We need those donations. We're an all volunteer organization with no funding, no grants. And so with the number of caregivers that are growing and becoming at risk, your donations mean everything. So we've got our monthly donation campaign going on right now. Can't tell you how much we appreciate it. And of course, here's a stat for you too, is that this is how this whole thing started this season, right? Every 15 seconds, someone is diagnosed with a terminal disease. And so, of course, I had that stat wrong. It's supposed to say every 15. And of course, every 15 seconds, someone becomes a caregiver. And so in order to keep pace with all of that, just, hit that QR code there on the screen or go to our website and become a monthly donor. It's just that simple. You can just go to gab808.org/donate. And we sincerely appreciate all of those. Boy, thank you so much for all of you who have, since the season started, really joined us and helped us monthly. We can't even tell you how much we appreciate it. And of course, you get a gift. And your gift is that we give you 12 monthly issues of the Giver's Guides magazine, which is written for caregivers by caregivers from a caregiver's point of view. And I'll be talking about that more later in the show. But, all of our services are free. We don't charge for them. And so we want to keep doing what we can do for caregivers and support them. And of course, you can just go to gab808.org. If you are a caregiver and you need support, please know that we take that very seriously and we're here to help you. All right. And of course, another way to do that is through our mindful moment that we do every season. And I'm hoping that the boat got her across to her car because she was in a boat. And, it's really funny because Lonnie, who is one of my co-hosts, and she's also our COO and Give Me a Break. And she always talks about your lifeboat. In fact, I think she's got a post on social media right now about who's in your lifeboat. Well, I would definitely have Bianca in my lifeboat because she's one of those that you really want to have around. And she's here to do our mindful moment. She's a world-renowned laughter leader, an award-winning empowerment coach, and just an amazing heart. She's got this body, but she's just really a walking giant heart. And I love her, and she'll get you laughing. So please welcome Bianca. Bianca Spears, aloha.
Aloha.
I'm so happy to have you here. And hi, sweetie. I know that things are going a little rough, but we're going to laugh now, okay?
You're gonna laugh with us?
Thank you for being here. Oh, he's not.
Just a little.
That's okay. Well, I know he's had a hard day. All right, Bianca, I'm turning it over to you.
Thanks, Savy. Hi, everyone. Today's mindful moment is, of course, choosing to laugh. And why do we choose to laugh? We choose to laugh to boost feel-good chemicals in our system that also do good. And at the same time, we reduce stress chemicals in our bodies. I am coming in hot and messy this morning. It's raining. As Savy mentioned, I have to take a boat because I have water access only where I live. My son's been having a bit of a rough morning. We're running extremely late. And this happens when we're caregiving, right? And we're all tuning in here, taking that little moment out for ourselves. And that's what we're here to do in the mindful moment. So let's just take a few breaths to just ground into this moment. So breathing nice and deep in through your nose, down as low as you can into your belly, perhaps straightening your spine and letting it out. A sigh is always nice. Breathing in, sighing out. One more like this. Nice and deep. Feel your ribs expand and sighing it out. Feel yourself letting go. We're going to breathe in this time and let a little giggle out. We're choosing laughter, and the more you choose it, the easier it becomes. Breathing in. Laughing out. Maybe something crazy or ridiculous has happened today. Let's giggle it out. Breathing in. Giggling out. Taking a nice deep breath in, just noticing, imagining feeling the warmth of the sun. If you can see me right now, you can see it streaming through the window. Breathing in. Feeling that warmth and just letting go. Breathing in. Holding it. Holding it. And let out the laughter. It's easy to get ourselves down about the situations that we're in. And I think we've done this before in the last season, but we're going to do it again. So it's raining here today, and it's easy to be like, oh, it's raining. And concerned about the circumstances around us by making them mean something, making them be good or bad or whatever it is. So we're going to cry down, twinkling our fingers and moving them down like rain. And we're going to laugh with the rain as well. Breathing in, reaching up, coming down with the rain and giggling. Feeling the freshness, the lightness. Breathing in, reaching up. Letting that rain come down. Maybe it's dropping on your head, your face. Trickling down, giggling down. And as we know, sometimes when there's a storm, there's a rainbow. So we're going to imagine seeing a rainbow in the sky right now, looking up, breathing in. And we're going to say, wow. Breathing in, looking up, raising our head up, and saying something like wow just helps to activate positive chemistry. So let's do it. Wow! Inviting that awe, that wonder, that sense of amazement into our lives, because sometimes we forget it when we're rushing around. Breathing in. Wow! Seeing all the colors, imagining that fantastic rainbow in a dark sky. Wow! Perhaps closing your eyes now, placing a hand on your chest or both hands on your heart. Taking some deep breaths here. Deep and gentle down into the belly, through the nose. Allow a gentle smile on your face. And just ground into something or someone that you're grateful for. Turn your focus to them right now, or that thing, that circumstance. Breathe in gratitude, smiling, feeling blessed and thankful that this is the way things are, that this thing or circumstance or person is in your life. Breathing out, sending gratitude and love out into the world. Breathing in, feeling yourself fill with even more gratitude. And out. The last one, breathing in gratitude for the magic of the little things in life. The rainbows, the ladybirds, the flowers popping through the concrete, perhaps when you're walking down the path, or the sidewalk, as you guys call it. Allowing yourself a moment here to just breathe, just smile, just be in this gratitude. Noting the magic in life, noting the magic in you, and noting how in this little mindful moment, you've perhaps shifted something. You've perhaps allowed a little more space, a little more gratitude, a little more love, a little more lightness into your life. If you've loved this mindful moment, tune in next week, or you can find me on YouTube or the Laughly app.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Wow.
I live in the land of rainbows. I'll be doing that all day, because life does have a way of creating chaos for us, especially for caregivers. Thank you so much, Bianca. Amazing. And there's the Laughly app right there on screen. If you haven't downloaded it, please download it. It's a free download, you guys. And I think there's a pay now that you can actually pay for it to get even more different kinds of gosh, all kinds of things on there. You've just got to check it out. There's such a plethora of ways for you not just to laugh, but to just find that gratitude, find that peaceful moment, take a moment just for you. We all know the importance of it, and I can't even emphasize that for caregivers, because those moments will save you. Thank you. And thank you to your son, who was amazing back there. Thank you so much for letting us have our mindful moment. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. We appreciate you both. Aloha.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Savy. Aloha.
Awesome. Bianca Spears, you guys, and you can find her on YouTube at Bianca Spears, and check her out. She has a whole bunch of videos you can watch, and some of them really only take a short amount of time. And so use that for your mindful moment every day. And of course, download that Laughly app, which is an amazing thing. I use it whenever I can get to it, because life does throw chaos at us. And boy, just give it a try. All right. And of course, if you need a weekly break, we're here to connect a community of caregivers. And Give Me a Break offers you our support sessions. Our support sessions are every week, every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. Hawaii time. Just Zoom in. Just get on your Zoom. You can do it on your phone, on your PC, on your laptop, on your iPad, whatever, on your iWatch, for goodness sakes. I don't know. Just get on at 8 p.m. and join a community caregivers. This is your positive safe space. Here is where we can say what we have to say. We learn what we need to learn. We practice mindful moments. In fact, we're going through a wellness section. It's all about the 8 different types of wellness that we need just as humans, and it's tailored for caregivers and how we can get through it. And we were just talking about how important it is to take that mindful moment. And in fact, we're going through mental wellness right now. It's a 3-parter because we can't do it in one part. And we get an assignment to work on the whole following week, and looking for ways to practice gratitude and to be positive, because that is, again, it's going to save your life. Really, it will. And so you can connect with us. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. Of course, it doesn't cost anything. You just join in, Zoom on. You don't need a password. Put in the number 808-754-3787, and you can join our support sessions every Tuesday at 8:00 p.m. Hawaii time. All right. So hope to see you there. And we hope you join us. And, like we were talking about this past one, we were talking about in the morning, right? Be the first thing that you do. You just about to open your eyes and think of something positive, just one thing. And if you can't, then just make yourself smile. That's all you have to do. You're about to open your eyes and just make yourself smile. That's kind of like something I need to do because I'm not a morning person. Are you a morning person? Well, that's okay. I'm hoping that my first guest today is going to fuel us all up. Did you like that one, Becky? All right. So I want to welcome today. I'm so excited to have the author of Morning Fuel, Becky Galli. I got it right. I'm trying. I got myself going, and I don't know. Anyway, aloha, Becky. Welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm so excited to talk about this book and some of the other things that you have to share with us. But before that, could you just share your caregiving story with us?
Well, it's an interesting story because I have been a caregiver, and I've also received caregiving. So I have had 2 special needs children. One was with epilepsy, diagnosed at 3 months of age. And my other child, Madison, was diagnosed with autism. So I had a healthy child, and then the 2 special needs children. And then my 4th child actually had a rare blood disorder who had alloimmune thrombocytopenia. Never forget that one. Yeah. So he actually outgrew that, but was speech delayed for a long time. So for a good chunk of time, I was parenting 3 kids with special needs, and it was very difficult.
And, I appreciate you sharing that too, because a lot of times we don't think of moms or mothers or parents even as caregivers, but you are. And even, if you by some miracle, you have a healthy child too, it doesn't matter. A mom is your very first caregiver in the whole world. And for you to have to deal with that with 3, wow. I'm sending you a tremendous hug right now.
Thank you. And I learned a lot to have an appreciation because I couldn't do it alone. Yeah. So I could not do it alone. And after the birth of my 4th child, I became divorced. And so managing that as a single mom, trying to make sure everyone got the attention they needed. And then 9 days after my divorce, I became paralyzed by a rare inflammation of the spinal cord called transverse myelitis that put me in a wheelchair. So I had another set of needs in terms of for my children because I couldn't do what I used to be able to do for them. And then I had my own needs of I couldn't manage my life all by myself. So caregiving has been something that's been on my radar for a very long time, and to do it in a healthy way that you can still do love without it becoming such a chore and so exhausting, because it can flat just be exhausting.
Yes, it is. And I think that exhaustion, leads to caregiver burnout, and the caregiver burnout can lead to those statistics. And so, yeah, amazing. And what a great support team you must have had as well, because that's just so much to have gone through. And this is one of the things why I love this show and why I bring people on the show, is because everyone has a caregiving story. And I think that we all need to realize that we are caregivers. And as I mentioned before, sometimes we're even caregivers for ourselves first and foremost. And so you even had to go into that role, right? You had to take the kids, you had to be taken care of, and you still had to take care of yourself in all of that. And you survived. And so that had to have led you to this authoring this book, right?
It did. It was interesting. The first book that I wrote was a memoir, because it's like I had to get all of these things down before I forgot them. They were so unique, and the storyline was something that I had captured, and I was like, let's get this in a book. And then the question became, how do you do it? How do you live your life, manage the life of your children? And Morning Fuel was a result of that, because one of my practices is to every morning, I do try to start it positively, with the thought first thing when I get out of the bed, as you suggest, sometimes the most positive thing is my wheelchair charged overnight. It's fully charged. So I try to start it off positively, but I also had done daily readings that would either inspire, encourage, or make me think, and they really fueled me. And so over the years, I became a writer. Shortly after my paralysis, when I couldn't go back to my full-time work, I began updating a high school buddy I hadn't seen in 15 years about my crazy life. And this was back in 1997, before blogs or social media. So email by email, I updated him, and he said, I'm going to share your stories with friends and family. And so he shared them, and I shared them. And that became the beginning of a newspaper column I wrote for the Baltimore Sun, and then the local weekly. So I had these little stories about adjustments to paralysis, parenting from the wheelchair, hiring caregivers, keeping caregivers, the whole thing.
Every end of the spectrum there.
Right. So that became, I plucked these stories, 366 of them, for Morning Fuel. So they're just little snippets, very short, but they're designed to, again, inspire, encourage, or make you think. And there are a couple little questions at the end. How about you? And I try to give the reader the experience of reading it and then making it real for their life.
Right. So relatable. And so many of us can relate to caregiving and being cared for as well. I love that. And I love that they're shorter. It's really funny. I was just talking about this to our group the other night, and one of the things I told them was they need to allow themselves to take a break. And when you take a break, find something to read. And I thought this is perfect because they're shorter stories. And so you don't have to sit and read a whole book. You can do something that has a quick story that you can read. So I think Morning Fuel is perfect for that. And so I'm adding that to your homework list, by the way, if any of you are watching this. You're going to need a copy of Morning Fuel now, because you're going to have to read the short stories. Okay, thank you very much. But but I love that. Yeah, and I love that you didn't allow everything that was happening to stop you, because I think that's what happens, and it was kind of for even Bianca this morning. It was sort of that perfect storm of having to get on the boat, having to get to the car, it was raining. And yet we don't let that chaos stop us. We just find order to it somehow, and we kind of keep going. And you're still wheelchair bound then, right?
Yes. Yep. Been here almost 30 years now. Yeah.
Wow. And your children have grown, and you're still going, and you're authoring and helping others. I mean, that's so admirable. I'm just blown away by all of that. And that was why I was so excited to have you on today.
Thank you.
Yeah, but and so that's Morning Fuel, but you also have something else too, right? Is that the 7 strategies or?
Yes, I have a simplified version of the 7 strategies of keeping you up when life is pulling you down. And they're just a couple little things that I've distilled down from some of the practices that I have. But in general, I would say to keep unstuck, I have this little path or formula that I like to use, which is, first of all, to be very honest about how you feel. How is your heart today? How are you feeling about things? What's your capacity to deal with the situation? And I love what Bianca said, that she uses my very analogy. I said, who's in the boat with you? Who can help you navigate this place that you're in, that you're going through stormy seas? Who can help you get through that? And the third is to keep moving. Find the next right thing to do. It might not be the ultimate answer, but it will be the next right thing to do in this process. And if you can kind of keep those things, I think that's where you rethink possible. You just accept the situation and rethink what you still can do within the situation to keep moving.
Yeah, 3 steps that can just change your mindset. And if you can change your mindset, then that can change everything, right? And I love that they're very simple. And I feel I do those similarly as well. And some of us do them in different ways. But, this has worked for you for 30 years. I mean, it's pretty proven. Yeah. And so I love that. And now I want to make sure I give you time, but we have a few more minutes. Is there anything else you want to tell our audience, you want to share with everybody today?
You are appreciated. You may not feel it, but know that you are. I think as I'm starting, I'm aging, and I asked my the spinal cord injury doctor that I talk to from time to time, I said, what's your advice for me as I age about caregiving and finding caregiving support? And she said, find good people, pay them well, and be nice. And it was just so that idea of, it takes all of that to develop a relationship. And the best caregiving relations are relationships where there's give and take. And hopefully you've got a good bench and you're not the only one that's doing the caregiving. Don't be afraid to say you need a time out.
Yep. Take it and take those breaks and make sure that you take time for yourself. And also, I think you have a giveaway as well. I want to talk about that.
Yes, absolutely. You can sign up on my website. It's the big long website there, or BeckyGalli.com. It's easier, BeckyGalli.com. But you can just Google my name and the website will come up and you can sign up, and they'll give you a copy of the 7 strategies and a little bit more about me and how to stay in touch. I do write periodically Thoughtful Thursdays, Lessons from a Resilient Heart. So you can sign up to receive those as well. I'd love to have you join my community.
Yeah, and please sign up. Go to her website. It's Rebecca Faye Smith Galli, got it, .com. And it's on the screen there. But again, if you have questions, you all know how to just comment in the comments and say, what was it again? And I'll copy you the link and go there, or just type in Rebecca Galli, and believe me, it'll come up, and you could just join and sign up. Because you'll get a lot of great information. And that's what this is all about, right? We're trying to educate, we're trying to connect, and we're trying to help all of us to survive. And if we don't hold hands, if we don't get in the boat together, we're not going to survive, right? And so thank you. And thank you for coming on my boat today and for sharing with our caregivers. I really do appreciate it. I know you have a very busy and hectic life. So thank you for making time for this. And thank you for all that you have done, and you are appreciated. Mahalo.
Well, thank you very much. It was so wonderful to be with you, spend time with your folks.
Thank you. Aloha. All right, you guys. Becky Faye Smith Galli, and again, Morning Fuel and all kinds of wonderful things. Just go to RebeccaFayeSmithGalli.com, sign up, get your free stuff, wonderful stuff, the 7 strategies, and those Thursdays. That's also a great thing. You can get all kinds of information. So please do that. Check it out. Wow, what a amazing life. Caregivers, I'll tell you, that's what we do. In fact, my heart to you, and thank you so much for everything you do. And I want to put a shout out to last week's winner. We had Sue Lloyd Davies on last week with Pinky's Turnabout. If you remember, and Pinky's Turnabout was this great book written especially for children who have been caregiving. And I'm so honored that we have a winner. And our winner was Fran Purdy, who also herself went through life as a child caregiver, and is going to be receiving a free copy of Pinky's Turnabout, thanks to Sue. Mahalo, Sue, for doing that. And again, you could be next. And so sign up on Becky's site and get some free stuff there. But remember, all of this is being given not just because we're putting it out there. This is being given from the heart. These are all stories from the heart. They're all sharings from the heart. They're resources from the heart to help you as a caregiver to find joy. So check it out. Go for it and sign up. All right. The Caring Caregiver Show is how Give Me a Break gets you connected to resources. And our Giver's Guides magazine that I talked about earlier is right there, is written for caregivers by caregivers from a caregiver's point of view. And one of the best resources you can have in the palm of your hand. Literally, it is an online magazine. What does that mean? What do you mean online, Savy? Well, wake up and smell the new millennium that we're in. And we're almost halfway through it. You know, time's just a flying by here. So make sure that you get hip to what's going on here. The online magazine is doing a great thing. One, it is not going into a landfill. So you won't find it lying in a doctor's office or in your dentist's office on a table, coffee table, filtered through by everybody else. It's not going to be paper that's going to end up being thrown away. It's online, which means you can pull it up on your device and you can read it right there and you can have it. The pages actually make that sound of a page turning. It's very cool. And all of the articles that are in it are written for you with your survival in mind. It's information, like all of this pipeline of information that we're putting out for you to survive is in here. And this month is Sandwich Caregiver Month. And so you'll notice Asia and her little boy and her grandpa, that she takes care of both of them as a single mom. And she was our 2022 or 2023, I can't remember right now, 2022 Caregiver of the Year. In our contest she won. And I wanted to feature her because she's actually thriving today. You know, that was 3 years ago, and she's 4 years ago, and she's now thriving as a caregiver, still taking care of her grandpa, still taking care of her son, and still thriving as a caregiver. And so a lot can be said for getting this information and having it in the palm of your hand. But the entire issue is filled with so many wonderful, wonderful articles that you can use to survive and then to continue, like Asia, to thrive after. So get your issue. Simply go to Give Me a Break, gab808.org/donate, and donate $25 or more. That's it. That's all you have to do. Or you can become a monthly donor. And if you become a monthly donor and the whole year adds up to more than that, then fine. You can $5 a month. That's fine. I'm happy. And we can use that to help caregivers. You'll receive a Mahalo gift of 12 monthly issues that come to you in a link in an email every month. And this helps us to help caregivers and helps you as caregivers to survive. We are a nonprofit 501c3, so a portion of your donation is tax deductible as well. Isn't that great? I know, I think of everything. All right, so coming up this month, all right, do you need a break? I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. Last month we had our garden retreat, and it was phenomenal. And this month we're doing our Caregiver Day Camp. Our Caregiver Day Camp will be on July 20th at Kawaikui Beach Park. Now, I know I say beach park, but it's not like all sand and water. This is a really nice shaded park with big trees and a lot of shade and a small little beach area that we'll be able to get our feet in to do a quick grounding. But we're going to just be able to relax and take some time out. So go onto our website, register for the day camp now. And it's okay if you can't make it when the day comes, we understand. And if you want to bring your carry along with you, bring them. They will probably love the day out, and we'll have a community of caregivers to help you with them. So come along down, register at gab808.org/retreat. Hope we see you there. It'll be a lot of fun and very, very grounding. And we all need that. A little bit of meditation goes a long way. All right. And all of these things that we have, all of these things, a little bit of something that can go a long way, for instance, right? My next guest has created an app. So it's a little app that gives you a lot. Trust me. It's everything a caregiver could possibly need all in one place. And I'm super excited to share all this with you. And they were on once before, but it was quite some time. And I know there's updates, so I brought Mark back on. So I want to welcome Mark Salzar, the CEO of Venture Health. Hi, Mark. Aloha. Welcome.
Aloha, hi Savy. Thanks for having me back on.
Oh, thanks for coming, because your app has just increased exponentially, and more things that come off of that you can get on the app. And I remember when you were first starting it out, maybe that was like about 2 years ago or so, 2 or 3 years ago, and it was just starting out, and you still had some great resources on there. But now, gosh, there's so much resources, I could never use them all, right? But before we get started, please share a little bit about your caregiving journey as well.
Yeah, so I'm part of the sandwich generation, right? We're moving towards that. I'm at that age, and as a caregiver, I'm the non-traditional. I live 2,000 miles away from my parents. My parents are in Hawaii, and I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. And my caregiving story is that I have to help and provide caregiving from a long distance, and I mean it's just a natural segue into the building of
Yeah,
the
because I
app
got
that
a
you
great
spoke about.
app you can use for that.
Yeah, it's a great app for someone like me who says, "Hey, you know what? My brother, who's the primary caregiver, needs a break. I have a solution and resource for him." So that's been my caregiving journey. My parents are, at a later stages in life. One of my parents has a medical condition, and and I think the way to help them, for someone like me, professionals like me, is that we need tools and resources. And I think Give Me a Break is one of those places that I think I would help folks to participate in. I mean, if I'm a caregiver and you offer like a little retreat at the beach, I'm there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one of the few things I'm missing in San Francisco. We're like,
Yeah.
hey, I'll meet you at the beach, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, I wish.
Yeah, that ain't happening, right? And here in Hawaii, we're just like, why would we go in a building? We have this
Yeah,
beautiful park,
go to
Yes.
the beach, get your toes wet. So that's kind of my caregiving story. I'm a long distance caregiver with a primary caregiver, all the way back in Hawaii.
And I'll tell you, never discount that, because even if you're long distance, it's actually harder, and you worry more, and you're constantly having to keep things organized from a distance, not knowing if you've got the right thing happening. And it's really tough. I've known a lot of long distance caregivers, and it's just tasking. And they didn't have what you created with an app either. And this was 5-10 years ago, and nobody had something like this. You had to figure it out while you were trying to take care of your own family, your own kids, your own job, and all these other things. So I love that you shared that, because I think that that's super important to realize that this was really the birth of your whole situation, was the birth of the app. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the
Yeah,
app.
yeah. So the Venture Health app is essentially what you're saying. It's for someone who is a professional who works full time but just can't get a grasp of caregiving themselves. And to what your organization does is just getting a little break for themselves, right? That little respite that hopefully fights or goes against the grain of the statistics you mentioned earlier about caregivers um, passing on before the folks that they care for. And that's one of the challenges, and that's what really kind of blew my mind over the last few months when learning about these studies again, these updated studies, where what would happen to my brother or my mother who are caregivers, and like you're saying, count out of that 10. I'm like, that's the statistics that's really scary. And so
Yeah.
I'm hoping the Venture Health app, can be one of those tools and resources folks utilize, right? It's an app that links individuals, like myself, yourself, families, looking for professional and trained caregivers. That's the key, I think, here. A lot of the questions we have is what makes it different. It's because we verify that the individuals that come to your home know what they're doing. They're not, I'm not taking anything away from our auntie down the street or our our uncle who live across the island. These professionals are CPR trained, are BLS trained. They're trained in home caregiving, and from me, 2,000 miles away, I think that's very important. If my brother ever needs a break, I can just, hey, there's the app,
Go on
use
the
that.
app.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And
So
it's funny too, because I get people asking me all the time. I have caregivers always saying, I just want someone to come in. I don't need a regular person. I just need someone to come in, like maybe 1 or 2 days a week. I'm like, get on the Venser app. Get on the Venser app, and you could just order one.
yeah, it's like a pinch,
It's like
right?
an
It's like,
Uber Eats for caregivers.
yeah, that's essentially what we always envision it. It's like, if someone just says, hey, I don't need someone that, a lot of brick and mortars require, like, oh, you got to do 2 hours every day or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and you got to commit to a contract. Our goal is to say, you know what, there's times where you just need 2 hours to go to the grocery store, watch a movie, go to a retreat. You know what I mean? It just going to one of those things, and we don't want to make you commit to something that you don't always need. I mean, to come into your organization's mission is just giving folks that break so that they can heal up, rest up, and then get back into what they were doing prior.
Yeah. And you deserve that break, caregivers. Don't ever think you don't deserve it. You more than deserve that break. And you should never feel guilt for taking it, because it's your survival. Feel guilty if you don't take these breaks, don't get a caregiver, and then you end up passing and you leave them with no one to care for them. That you could feel guilty for, right?
Yeah, I mean, to piggyback on that, it's like, if you don't care for yourself, the quality of care that you're going to provide is going to kind of
Yeah.
deteriorate, because then
Yeah.
you're not physically well, you're not mentally well, you're just now struggling and just kind of zoning through the next phase of your life and not getting that break, which is really important.
Yeah.
Getting that self-care and mental health care that you need, I think it's underrated, and I think that's something I'm grateful for an org like yours to kind of really emphasize that work.
Yeah. Well, we'll put it out in front. I'll scream it from the housetops, and you know that. You already know me. I'm good at screaming from the housetops.
Yeah.
But and here's the app. Here's what it looks like. So if you're on your phone and you're looking at the app, it just comes up, and you say, "Hey, I need a caregiver," and you show it locates you one in the area. That's why I said it's kind of like getting Uber Eats, right? You go in, you pick a caregiver, and they deliver themselves to you. It's just that simple, and I love that. But there are a lot of other services as well on there. I know caregivers is a big one, because that really does help. And I know a lot of you are caregivers that are working full time, even here in Hawaii. This is the perfect app for you. But what else is there on that app? Like, in there, transportation? I know there's transportation.
Exactly. We're expanding into massage therapy, physical therapy, respiratory therapy, and then, like you're mentioning, we're also expanding into transportation. What's unique about this transportation? It's not just like a ride share where you just call someone to get to pick up grandma, grandpa, mom, or dad, or even yourself. It's someone who is a CNA. They're non-emergency medical transport, and our requirement to be a participant on the platform is that you can transport folks, but you need to be a BLS CPR certified person, because emergencies happen on the road. We want you to be able to help that person in and out of the car appropriately, and learn how to care for their for the things that they bring with them, like wheelchairs, if you're able to do that. We're actually working with professional transport companies who do higher end or higher acuity transport as well. So that's going to be available on the app. So we're kind of finding those little touches, but for the general transportation, from your home to the doctor and back, I think using a trained certified individual that's affordable, you're not paying $200-300
Right.
per transport. You're paying whatever the rate that the driver is offering on the app itself. Which is why it's great, because
And you can see that when you're
you
doing
can
it.
see that exactly, and the burden of cost really is dropped because we don't have a brick and mortar. We let the providers kind of say, hey, here's the rate I'm going to set. There is, of course, a small admin fee to help the lights on our end. But outside of that, it's not an exorbitant fee. And we just try to keep the cost as affordable as possible
Totally
because,
worth it. And all
yeah,
vetted. I mean, these are all vetted. So you don't even have to go through trying to call separately here and there. I'll never forget how hard that was for me with my mom, and she was bedbound. So if I took her to the doctor, I had to take her in a gurney. And
yeah,
so
they're all
gurney
licensed.
transportation, $500, right? $400 or $500. And it's like, I didn't know who to call. I didn't know where to find them. You know how I found a guy? I happened to be driving one day and I saw a poster or something, and I took a picture of it. And I said, okay, I found one. I took a chance. I didn't even know if this guy was vetted. And here now you have it all on an app, which is amazing. Where were you when I needed you, Mark?
You're right. Yeah, I mean, it's those cool things. I mean, I have your same experience when I'm looking for professionals. I'm like, how do I do this stuff? So yeah, one of our intentions was to make sure that we remove all those burdens that prohibit and challenge and make it hard for folks to look for caregivers or professionals. We'll do the background check for you. We'll just make sure they do that. We make sure they have insurance. We make sure they're trained. We make them upload a bunch of things before they even get on the app at this point. And so we know that the person you choose that day, that they're certified, ready to go for you.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we're chatting way too much. I'm watching the time now going, okay, we've been talking too much, but thank you so much. But yeah. And last comments, anything you wanted to say before you go? And then I know we have a giveaway that you're going to talk about.
Yeah, I'm just, I think even if not on a wrap, I would suggest to every caregiver to practice self-care. Look for organizations like yours, look for resources, take care of yourself. It's really important. My background is mental health and mental health services. If you don't take care of that stuff, your physical health, they all will bleed into each other. And unfortunately, your time on Earth is accelerated. So please do take care of yourselves as caregivers.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you. And I take that to heart. So venturehealth.com, super easy, you guys. Venturehealth.com, go there. And, if not, look for the Venture Health app. It's called the Home Care app. And, Venture Health, just type it in. Google, Play Store, the Apple, anywhere they have it. Just download the app and get that information at the palm of your hand again. Where everything's on your phone nowadays, everybody. It's all on your phone. It's all on your iPad. It's all on the, you don't need to be carrying God, does anyone remember the day we used to carry phone books around? All right.
The Rolodex.
And the Rolodex is, oh my Lord. Anyway, so yes, it's all on your phone. You can do it all there. You can take it with you anywhere you have to go. Super easy, all vetted resources. And please, please, please tell us about this giveaway.
Yeah, so if you first 4 people to email Savy, we'll give.
We said 5. I'm sorry, I have it as 5.
Sorry, no,
okay.
Correct. You're
correct. I'm going to include myself now.
First 5 people to email Savy about the Venture Health app and want to use it, want to try it out. We're going to give them each 4 hours of care. And they can use it anytime for the month of July. So email Savy as quick as you can. Once that 5 slots get filled up, we will let you know. But we want to be helpful. We know it's the summertime in Hawaii, and enjoy the outdoors, enjoy your self-care. So we want to provide that support for you folks.
And I'm going to piggyback on that. And so you guys, info@gab808.org, email us, say, I want my 4 hours of care. And the first 5 people to do that. And here's what I could suggest to you. If you're one of the first 5 people and you've got that 4 hours, you can use it to come to our day camp and have someone watch your person while you come to the day camp. And so you can test it out right away. It's got to be used in the month of July anyway. I think it's awesome. Thank you so much for what you guys have done and created, and really your heart for caregivers, and my heart to you and your folks and your family as well. And anytime you need me, I'm here, right? So thanks, Mark. Thanks for coming. It was great to see you again.
Thank you, Seth. Thanks for having me on again. We'll see you later.
Aloha. All right. So you guys, the Venture Health app, it's amazing. It has so much on there. Check it out. Download the app today. Go on and see it for yourself. And in the meantime, info@gab808.org. The first 5 people to say, I want my 4 hours of care, you got it. Okay. I'm going to check the email right after this. So I want to see 5 people. And you can use that for our day camp coming up on the 20th of July. All right. What an amazing, amazing show this has been. Wow. I warned you. I told you there's going to be a lot happening on this show. And this was going to be an amazing season. And we've just got it. And we've got more great giveaways coming your way as well. And coming up very soon is our care receiving workshops. Our care receiving workshops, as you all know, is an 8-part series that cover all aspects of the plan that you need to receive care. Nobody plans for receiving care, but you will. So come to our workshops. They will be beginning in September. So don't worry, I'll be talking about them for the whole month, but you can register right now. Just go onto our website, gab808.org/CRP for care receiving plan. All right. Yeah, but just go ahead and surf our website. You know, it's all there, and super easy to just register for that. Register for the next upcoming classes, and they're free workshops. Don't cost you anything. You'll get a folder and handouts that you complete by the end of the 8 sessions, and it'll be at the Galicha Library right in the middle of the island, so anyone from anywhere could come. It's 1 day a week, and it's definitely going to change your care receiving, and the person that's caring for you will have a lot more joy. All right, this season is so packed full of these amazing resources. I can't even tell you, and each one of them has a caregiving story and gets you. They get you. They're caregivers just like us, right? So we have what you need right here on the Caring Caregivers Show. And as a reminder, you know, the show is brought to you and paid for by Give Me a Break. So we need your help and the Giver's Guides online magazine. Keep that donations coming. Please become a monthly donor and support what we do, because we're making that difference. And we want, and I'll tell you how we made that difference. For those of you who've stayed on the show long enough today to the end, you're going to get this great snippet. Last year, the rate was 50% pass before the ones they're caring for. As of 2026, it has gone down to 40%. 10% of caregivers worldwide were saved, because as a community throughout this nation, we are all getting together to care, to support, and to change the landscape of caregiving. And if we can keep this going, caregiving can completely change in another year, in another 2 years. And, you know, I've always learned to make my job obsolete. And I would love to make Give Me a Break obsolete, but always here for you if you needed it. All right. So become a monthly donor. That's what we need. Whew, we got through this show. Wow, what a show it was. Wow. Wow. Thank you, Bianca, for your joy and your laughter. And you can check her out on YouTube at Bianca Spears. And thank you, Becky, so much. Becky Galli, who wrote this amazing book, but then also has these 7 strategies for us that you can get. So sign up, go on her website, RebeccaFayeSmithGalli.com. Check it out, sign up, get all that information. It's a wonderful thing. And thank you, Mark. It was great to see you, and always great to see what's happening with the Venture Health app, because that app is just amazing. You know, who knew that we actually could just go to an app and get what we needed, right? It's all here. Next week, my guest will be, oh, I didn't even add it to the, here, I'm going to just do this really quick. I know I'm running over time. That's okay. You love me. I love you. Okay, there we go. Oops, there it is. And it's back again. Next week, my guest will be Donna Lynn Liu of Laulima no na Ohana. And she is creating a caring community where our kupuna and their caregivers get the support they need to live well. It's going to be a great show, and she's an amazing person. You trust me, you're going to want to meet her. So join us next week and be here. Put it on your calendars. Every Wednesday, 12 noon, we're here without fail and live for each season. And we're streaming on 7 different platforms. Hopefully you're watching us either on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, whichever one. We're here. And if you missed us, don't worry, because it shows again over and over again on those social media platforms. But in about a week, you'll be able to listen to us in podcast, right? So we're on Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, Google, iHeart, all of them. And you can just go on for the Caring Caregiver Show, and you can click on and listen in podcast. So if you couldn't make the show, don't worry. You can hear us while you're driving. And thank you to all of you who constantly comment that you hear us on podcast and for all those downloads. Really appreciate it, because you're getting us closer to world domination, right? And why do we want world domination? So that every caregiver in the world knows they're not alone, and that we see them. Yeah. And that you can survive, and you can continue to thrive after. And that's our goal. That's my goal. I hope that happens, right? I know it will. Okay, so whatever you do, stay connected. That's why we're here. And in the meantime, remember to breathe, laugh, enjoy, and be positive. Here's hoping that you're finding more of that joy in caregiving each week, right here on the Caring Caregiver Show. Thanks for tuning in, and always be kind to yourself, and especially to those who are caring. Aloha, everyone. Have a wonderful week. See you next week. Aloha.